So I'm sat waiting myself, and it does do me in because I've got to wait. Look good, mate. Look well.
That one's not done yet, though.
Brand everything. Oh yeah. Because of the size, the volume. So your gas meters at home, especially for your domestic guys, you'll see the size difference from my hands. Me next to that. So I've got a couple of questions that I'm sure the fans will want to answer the question of. So the water in this plate here. Building management systems. Got a few comments on that tonight. Yeah. As systems draw off and they require heat, they'll just draw straight off the buffer tank again.
You what?
Needs
a bit of a dye as well.
Anyway, I'm doing a look here.
That's great.
Doing a look here. Something to lean on there. Welcome to this today's episode at Caprani Plumbing and Heating, whatever you want to call it. We're going to do a quick. This video is a little bit different today. Matt and George are at college, so it's Mr. Nathan and Mr. Saviours today doing a bit of learning on the job. So we're going to run through a few bits in a commercial plant room. Again, I'm commercial engineer, oil, LPG, all that anyway. I don't know how many tickets I've got, but I've had them for nearly over 10 years now. Luke's got his oil, he's got his domestic. We are looking at putting through his commercial gas imminently this year, so we like to wait together on a Thursday, especially going on a lot of the commercial sites, just obviously showing him what's what. I'll be honest with you, he's pretty much caught up with it now. You can't go wrong. When you break these systems down, it's for the, especially for your domestic guys out there, it's not like a combination boiler or just a standard system boiler at home, but it is just bigger and more industrial stuff. But you'll see the next few slides, we'll give you a run through of the meters, buffer tanks, plate heat exchangers, and open your eyes to the commercial world, and if not, get involved with it, guys. Right guys, what is happening? So we are just down at this commercial plant room. I just want to give you a run through of this commercial install, so you can see here the pipework is pretty beastie. I've got two diaphragm gas meters behind me here. One of our videos you'll watch the other day was about rotary inline meters. We tend not to like these meters because of the size, the volume. So your gas meters at home, especially for your domestic guys, you'll see the size difference from my hands, me next to that. Again, it needs calculator for the output for the 200 kilowatt boilers, what we need. Me personally, I'd put a rotary meter in, but we're on service and maintenance plant room, so that's part of the buy. I'll give you a quick run for what we've got here. We've got our gas local isolation valve, so we've put a wheel head valve on this. So again, you can see it's a bit of a beast of a valve, which comes through to my solenoid valve there. I believe it is on 4-inch pipework this, so it comes through to my solenoid pipework. I've got a governor, bringing the gas down to 21 millibar as per required. Comes round also welded joints, because anything over 2 inch has to be welded. You can thread anything below 2 inch, but over 2 inch it has to be welded. And it comes across to our butterfly valve there on our meters here. So this meter is feeding 200 kilowatt worth of power RD Levo Maxes, and this one here is just for some ambi radiators. So again, it's more just to monitor what amount of gas is being used and stuff. You'll see numerous areas, there's little tap-ins and tap-ins up here. These are just obviously purging facilities. So at this point down here, when you install the initial gas line into the mains outside of the road, what they'll have done, they'll have isolated or blanked it there with a spade. So when I say spade, like put a spade piece in there to block it off, and they'll have purged it. They'll have nitrogen or air done on purge flare stack, purge it live to there. Then from here, once they've got this in, they'll purge them to these points here. Then when they've done that, they'll have purged it at the end of the lines, like I say. But again, it's a pretty big install, but I think when you break it down and look at it, especially for more for domestic guys, it is pretty straightforward. It just does look, should I say, a little bit more daunting. We've got a little bit more volume of gas, but again, it is the same thing. So hope like that. I'm going to hand you over to Luke now. He's going to run you through a plate heat exchanger on a commercial install. So instead of having storage water for Legionnaires purposes, should I say, on premises like this, we like to use plate heat exchangers. So I'll show you this one. Right, Lukey, fire away.
Right, so this is our plate heat exchanger. I need to stop touching that because it's quite warm. Basically, this is...
Hang on. Before we go any further. For all you engineers out there and people that do watch the channel just to see what does a plate heat exchanger do?
This is just heat transfer, basically. This is going to warm up our hot water for this entire building. This is exactly the same as your standard domestic combi boiler. So all you domestic engineers out there, you see the small little plate heat exchangers. This is that, just on a bigger scale. That is all it is.
Kilowatt rating's this one?
This one is rated at 200 kilowatt, this plate heat exchanger. So quick explanation of what it does. We've got our cold in here, which runs through this side of the plate heat exchanger, and we've got our hot out at the bottom, which goes out and which goes to the rest of the building. Now on the other side, we have our flow in, which is drawing off our buffer tank, which is then dragged through on the pump into the bottom and out the top, and then it draws and returns there. Blending valve, if need be, kicks in and blends the water there, but that is all this is. It is a pump drawing off a buffer tank, which is warming up cold water, which then turns into hot water to go to the rest of the building. But instead of having 300-400 litre storage hot water tanks, it just runs off this, which is minimal water content, which is a lot better for Legionnaires and stuff like that.
So I've got a couple of questions that I'm sure the fans will want to answer the question of. So, the water in this plate heat exchanger, does it mix with the heating water?
No, so we are fully separated. So imagine this basically has a plate down the middle. They cannot contaminate. We've got heating water, central heating water on this side, and on this side is where our cold water and our hot water is. They do not mix whatsoever.
Cool. Now them pumps look quite big. Why are them pumps only just going through the plate like that?
So all this is just because, so if you've ever, there's plenty of videos out there where someone's cut open a plate heat exchanger on a domestic boiler. The fins are stupidly small, and it is the same in this. You need a lot of pump pressure to get through them fins and push the water through. So that is all this. It looks beastly and it is a beast of a pump, but it's just so that it can get the water content through this plate heat exchanger efficiently enough to supply the building with hot water.
Cool. So yeah, that sounds kind of good. Also these as well, could you run these on steam?
Yeah. So these are compatible with steam. I ain't no steam expert, but I'm pretty sure.
We've worked on a bit though, pretty straightforward. We aren't steam accredited, but it's the same scenario, isn't it? The steam can go through the plate.
Instead of central heating water, all you'd have is steam on that side, but this side would be exactly the same. Cold in, hot out, job done.
It's just using the indirect heat source, isn't it?
Yeah, so you've got one volume of water on one side, one volume of water on the other. Both don't mix, both generate hot water by heat transfer. That is all it is.
Perfect, great. Good explanation, Loki. Were you going to fit one of these in your house, or what?
Yeah, for my one bathroom, I think.
What's happening, guys? So back to me. We've had enough of Loki. Just at this buffer tank. Now this is... Should have checked litre, shouldn't I? I don't know, Loki. It's not telling much. But anyway, in a nutshell, this is a buffer tank. So my two boilers over there send 200 kilowatt power, worth of power should I say, to this buffer tank. There's no dividing plate or anything in this. Literally, my flow comes in, it just circulates around and back to the boilers. The demands on the building behind me, when the BMS kicks in, building management systems. Got a few comments on that tonight. Yeah. As systems draw off and they require heat, they'll just draw straight off the buffer tanks. Again, this works a lot more with the hydraulic flow rate. So again, you'll have seen, especially engineers out there, if you look inside boilers, heat exchangers, the waterways are very thin and small. The reason being, I'm not on about plates here, I'm on about actual heat exchangers. Why do you think the waterways are small? That's right, they have to be small and a certain amount of water go through so the heat transfer can occur from the flame to the heat engine. So basically, if I was just to draw straight off them boilers, they'd just sit limp idle all the time. What's the return differential? 11 degrees, you'd never achieve your 11 degree return differential, so if boilers would constantly parameters, we're going to lock out. So what happens is, the buffer tank allows me to keep my boilers that power going around all the time, keeps this stored up at 80 degrees when it's in demand, and the system can draw off. So it's all to do with your hydraulic flow rate. So simple bit of kit, buffer tank, low loss headers, kind of the same thing really, and they all do it like I say, but especially in the big commercial stuff, this is what we're looking at.
Right, so something you might not have seen before is this is called a chemical dosing pot. So unlike a domestic heating system where you can put a litre of chemicals in to a radiator and that'll suffice, some systems on these commercial plants could need up to 20 litres of chemicals as and when they need it. They don't need it yearly, it's just to keep the chemical balance right. So all you would do with this is constantly locked off, so we drain it off. So this is 6 litres, this will hold. Open that up, put our chemicals in there, fill 6 litres up there, open this up, let the heating system pull that round for a good 10 minutes, shut it back off from the system, drain off any excess water, and then it's good to go again, and you add what you need. So for instance, I think this one might need around 20 litres, so you do that 3 times and you're getting 18 litres, so it's pretty much there. 3 times of that running round, plenty of chemicals in the system, but it's just a quick and easy way to add chemicals to a big commercial system.
Question time and Luke. The fans love question time.
I don't like question time.
Question time. Why can't I, Luke, just go open a bleed on a radiator for domestic engineers out there and just go pour it into a radiator?
Imagine trying to do that. Imagine trying to put 20 litres through one radiator.
I'd give it a go, mate.
You could give it a go, but this is just easy, efficient and quick to do. It's just about making your life easier as an engineer. If you don't have this on, well, plus this is all underfloor heating, so how the hell are you going to do that?
Fair point, fair point. Actually, it's not, because it's got a CT and a VT, so...
Oh, I thought this was all underfloor, this one.
Please tell me, what's a CT circuit?
Constant temperature.
And why would you install a constant temperature circuit?
Constant temperature is basically, so these are on air handling, is that right?
Can be on air handling units or any systems that require heat immediately. So why would you have a constant temperature?
So basically, this will be going up to a Belimo valve somewhere in the building by the air handling unit. It is going to be constantly circulating, so that loop will constantly be at 80 degrees ready to go, and as soon as that valve opens up, that, I think this is air handling, I think this is on, the air handling loop unit will instantly have 80 degrees worth of water ready to go, and it is just instantaneous heat. It's not having to build up and wait for the system to warm up, so that is constantly circulating and constantly running at 80 degrees ready to go.
So why couldn't I put a VT circuit, which stands for
variable temperature?
Why couldn't I put that on a air handling unit? What would happen?
So if you domestic engineers might remember the old warm air units, so to break it down like that, their fans always have a delay on them before they kick in. The burner will warm up and warm that heat exchanger up before, because basically, if not, you've got cold air blowing around the system, and that's not what you want. So you literally want it to be hot straight away. That's why the warm air units had that delay before the fans kicked in, and this is why these are always at temperature, so it's instantaneous heat throughout the building, and it's not blowing cold air around a system that wants hot air blowing around it.
And if you'd use a VT circuit for what?
Radiators, underfloor, stuff like that. Stuff that doesn't need that instantaneous heat, stuff that can build up in temperature and then cool down in temperature.
Well done. You've passed the test, Luke. I think we'll accept you on the job, mate.
God.
Right, Luke, so what we're on with today then, mate?
I'm working module max services.
Wessex Modumaxes, 150 kilowatts. So this bank here is a bank of 150, 300, 450. So again, we're just underway getting this serviced up now, tested. We've given them all the strip down, clean out. That one's done now. Just going through the flow gas analyzer now on that one. Our readings come back all right up to now, aren't they?
So far.
And that one as well. And then I've just literally been cleaning the plant room out, literally giving the side of the boilers a wipe down, checking everything. I'm going to get underway with the gas test soon on my ECV. A lot of the commercial plant room servicing going on lately, so we've got a lot going on. Got a big project starting next week, haven't we, Lukey? Oh, are you upset? What? Are you upset? Right, it's question and answer time. We've got Dale getting his eyebrows threaded as we speak. What's the pain level, Dale?
Solid 8.
This is the new man nowadays, though, isn't it?
That's right.
Eyebrows threaded, let's have a look. Mr. Laptop Stand looking alright then, mate. I'm next in the line, do you know what I mean?
I'm doing it without the eyebrows.
No, but there's not wrong with taking care of yourself. Is it especially you, Dale? Because obviously, being the face of the business, the clients coming and seeing, they don't want to see bushy eyebrows, do they?
No.
How was that then, Dale?
Painful.
Yeah, but let's check the brows.
Now.
So look, yeah, look good, mate. Look well.
That one's not done yet, though.
Brand everything. Oh yeah. Yeah, you can see. So what are you doing in the morning? What will be tomorrow's schedule be? See how many YouTube comments I've got on the eyebrows. What?
Have a good 30 at least.
So I'm sat waiting myself, and it does do my thing, because I've got to wait in the pecking order. So I'm going to turn the camera on now, show you the eyebrow. Looking well, them, Dale.
Cheers, lad. I'll tell you what, if any of them site lads out there, if the day come and get it done, get it done. You're not a real man till you do. Tell you now. Want to know about pain?
I mean, it's like giving birth, isn't it?
Mate, it's on par.
Oh, that'll start a debate, that one. You're leaning on something.
I've got to lean on something. A full day with you and it kills me. Absolutely kills me. But thanks for watching another one of our videos. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and hit that bell notification. Nathan don't know what that means, but at some point he'll learn. We've got Nathan and Matty have got a big project coming up next week, which they will be videoing a lot of. I'm just Dale's bitch next week. I can't wait for that.
Jobbing engineer, aren't you?
Jobbing. I hate jobbing. It's boring as. But like I said, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and make sure you keep tuned for the next one.